Welcome back to Jankowski Speeding Off-Road, where today I'm going to drill some holes in my brand new Zl1 bumper so I can add on a Zl1 add-ons tow hook. Let's get to it. Man, I hope I don't screw this up. I'll show you some of the stuff you need and then what all comes in the kit and all that. You're going to need a 1-inch hole saw with preferably a drill. I don't know how else you're going to do it. I guess you can sit there and run it back and forth and make the hole. Marker, scissors to cut out the template, and I'll show you that in a second. Drill bits, and then on an SS anyway, because this is actually an SS that I put a Zl1 bumper on because I had a little mishap. And I actually had a different Zl1 add-ons tow hook on here that was for the SS. That actually held up really well in that crash. The bumper was destroyed, but the tow hook and all that was still solid. It actually was really good. So you're going to need, what is this, a T15 Torx to get the wheel liner screws out. And then obviously you have your instructions and then your tow hook itself. It comes in kind of a nice box. And then this is the mounting hardware. This is what the tow hook mounts to, and this bolts to like the bumper or the crash structure. So let's go through the instructions, see what we need to do. A decent size manual here, because this does go over, you can mount this to the front, and this is also the mount for the rear. So if you're putting like a rear tow hook in, they cover that on here too. I think it's the same kit to put the rear on. You can see how they show how to do that. But we're going to put it in the front. Yeah, that's going over the rear too. But they do give you a template. It looks like it's hand drawn, but you just cut it out and stick it on the front bumper. And you drill a hole in your brand new or old front bumper. In my case, brand new. I spent a lot of money on, and it's all GM stuff. So that's fun. Okay, so I cut out that deal there. And it's finally nice enough out where I can actually have the door open to work. It's still March right now in North Dakota, and it usually gets kind of cold. You're going to line up this template with your bumper. There it is. Then take an 1/8 inch drill bit, go right on the center of this and drill your pilot hole right into your bumper. Okay, there's now a hole in your bumper. Not a very big one. Okay, now we're going to swap out to our 1-inch hole saw. And what the instructions say anyway is to drill a hole only through the plastic for the 1-inch side of it, and then just kind of start drilling a hole through the metal crash assembly or the bumper below it, but do not drill a 1-inch hole in it. You just want a little pilot hole. Here goes nothing. I think you got to drill through, they have the bumper and then there's like that absorber behind it. I think you have to drill through that, and then you get into the actual bumper here, the metal part of it. I hope. Yeah, there it is. So here's your hole. And you can see there's still another plastic piece behind there, but then there's metal right behind it, and that's your crash structure. So we're going to stop right there. So I already made a mark, so then we'll just use an actual drill bit and do a pilot hole there. I'll see what size that is. The instructions say enlarge the 1/4-inch hole, which is whatever this made. I don't think it's 1/4 inch, but that's just what they have. To a 5/8 and then to a 3/4 with a step drill or correct size drill bit. I'm probably just going to use this cheap Harbor Freight step bit because that's about all I've got that's going to work for that. So let's drill those holes. Here we go. Actually, I might drill the hole first here. I'll take an actual bit. The end of that step bit's pretty worn out. I'm thinking about it, I might tape this off so I don't scratch it. All right, now we'll see how this does. I might have to put some sort of extension on that. I'm like almost there, but unless I just make it happen, this thing's probably really hot. It's got to be almost there. The instructions say to remove the front tire. I'm going to see if I could just turn it and get it out of the way. That should be enough room to get in there to do what I need to do. So we're going to pop off, since this is an SS, we're going to pop off, there's 3 screws holding this wheel liner in, and then we'll just kind of fold it back out of the way. With a Zl1, this fender liner goes in and under. So there's some more screws you'd have to undo if it was the actual Zl1. So we're going to pop those out. This is where that T15 Torx comes in handy. And you don't need to use a drill, but I am. I might have to remove the liner. We'll see. We'll see how crazy I want to get here. They do say to remove the coolant catch can because that could get in the way. We'll have to see how we need to do that. We'll see if I can get in here. I slid in. This is so tight. It's ridiculous. See if I can get in here. So I'm never going to get it back out again. This is that crash structure behind here. Yeah, the wiring's a little loose. Let's see if I can push that up out of the way. So there it is. That piece slides right in with the threaded end facing back. And then what we have to do is, there's a hole that has to get drilled in here. That catch can is kind of in the way. And it probably would be a lot easier if this wheel wasn't bolted up. I'm going to see what I can do here. I'm kind of lazy. I might be able to get a small drill back here and drill the hole that I need to drill. But I think I might thread the part of the tow hook in the front, just so it kind of holds it in place. Yeah, we'll see if I can get this to thread into that piece in the hole here. This is the adapter to the tow hook, so that sticks out and then the tow hook spins onto it. I have a feeling with one person this might kind of suck. Or it might not, I don't know. I keep feeling like I got it, but I didn't. There, I think I got it now. This is an 11/16 for this. It might be metric, it was a little loose on there. I kind of cheated. I took this Milwaukee Impact because it was pretty short, and then just with a step bit on it. Got in here and drilled a 5/16 hole right here. And it's hard to see, but that plate that I slid in there is right back there, and it's got a little divot in it, so the bolt you're going to run through, and then there's like a little nut on it. And I did not measure this. I just centered it in here and brought it as close to the edge as I could, because that's about where it was on here, and it doesn't really tell you in the instructions on where to drill this. So this is what I'm going with. Okay, I finally got that in there. That was kind of tough. So there it is. And you can't really see in here, but this bolt goes into that divot that's in the end of that piece that it mounts to. And then this nut here, it has to be tightened down yet, but what you do is this nut sits in here and you tighten this bolt down, and it shoves that against the front of the cross member, and then you cinch it down with this little jam nut here that keeps it from backing out. And that's really about it. Okay, now it's tightened down about as tight as it can go, and this jam nut's been tightened up really tight. And we're now sticking out of that bumper. I kind of don't like the fact that it's not 100% centered, which kind of sucks. Because when I drilled the hole, I kind of went at a little bit of an angle because the whole car kind of it bows out a little bit. So I guess you should probably just go straight in. but whatever, I guess. But we'll get the tow hook on there and we should be done. Okay, we'll take our 11/16 and just make sure that part's tight. And we'll thread our hook on. Then that jam nut is 3/4. We want to go the right way, righty-tighty. Decently solid. I don't think it's as solid as the one that was the SS one. Just because the SS one was legitimately bolted onto the other bumper or the crash structure. This one kind of is just jammed in there. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, it's decently solid. It looks pretty good. And it'll actually, you can actually use it. Like say if you do race and you crash and you got to get pulled out, or if you just want to look cool at your car show, your local car show, obviously you're gonna have to put the screws back in here. But other than that, that should be it. So I hope that helps everybody out. I couldn't really find any videos on doing the actual Zl1. I think there was some videos out of doing the SS one. So hope this helps anybody out that wants to do this. It's actually not that bad, other than drilling a hole in your bumper. Yeah, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.